Now, as we expand our bunkhouse offering here at Alliance RV, this Avenue All Access 29BH is surely one you don't want to miss. Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Jake.
And this is the all-new Avenue All Access 29BH, which stands for Bunkhouse. Jake, what are some of the specs on this thing?
You're going to find the overall length just under 35 feet and a dry weight at about 9,600 pounds.
All right, let's go ahead and take a tour inside first. All right, Jake, now that we've taken a step inside, let's talk about the flow of this floor plan first.
The flow is honestly one of the best parts of the floor plan itself, and usually when you're on a shorter bunkhouse model, something takes a back seat. And typically it's like functionality of the bunk room alone, right? So what we have here is a lot of functionality throughout the day and at night in the bunk area. The middle area serves as your kitchen and your living room, and upstairs serves as our typical all-access front end. However, we still have a lot to talk about up there.
All right, let's go ahead and head to the bunk room first. All right, the bunk room. So this is a great multifunctional space back here because you have 3 bunks and you have an adventure door, which is a great spot because you could easily load in anything you take on your adventures, like your e-bikes or anything like that. And then on top of that, you're gonna have tons of storage back here. You have a large closet. You're gonna have 6 dresser drawers. You're also going to have dedicated AC dumps back here to keep it cool. And one of my favorite features for when mom and dad go to bed, you can shut the door at night and create a true separation of space. Hey Jake, why don't you talk about the living space next?
Now the main level here is just on the other side of that bunk room. What you're gonna find up here is about a mile's worth of countertop space, which is solid surface, by the way. Plenty of drawers and plenty of cabinets as well. We all know we have to maximize the storage. We even included a dedicated silverware storage in one of the drawers as well. Up top, you're gonna find plenty of upper cabinets, also a residential size 30-inch over-the-range microwave. You're gonna find a 10 cubic foot 12-volt refrigerator that is fully accessible in road mode and also pairs very well to the standard solar package on our all-access lineup. It's a 200-watt panel and a 15-amp charge controller. Now directly next to that is your 3-person theater seat, and directly across from that is where you're going to find your television, which is in a perfect spot and a great viewing angle. Moving forward here, you have a nice open concept dining area. We thought we did a great job on this, making an upscale design, especially with some extra storage right above there as we head upstairs as well. Let's go find Joe and take a look.
Now moving upstairs, you're gonna have a large bathroom that's easy to access when you're in road mode, like Jake talked about the refrigerator. You're gonna have a porcelain toilet with a soft close lid, towel hooks above that to easily reach when you get out of your large shower, with a self-wicking door and a skylight to accommodate for those taller folks. And then moving next to that, you're gonna have a large linen closet and a great large stainless steel sink. Now let's check out the bedroom. Now let's talk about this front bedroom. You're gonna have an Olympic-sized queen bed with tons of storage above and below it. You're gonna have hidden storage on those dressers, and then there's additional storage underneath the bed as well. You're also gonna have your own dedicated AC in here to keep the climate cool. And then the front closet on the wall directly across from you is gonna be a large front closet that is prepped for a washer and a dryer. And then you can't forget that we added TV backer in here, so that way if you wanna watch those late night movies, we give you the option. Now let's go meet Jake and talk about that North Star here at Alliance RV, those customer driven features. All right, Jake, so let's talk about that North Star here at Alliance RV, those customer-driven features. What are a couple of your favorite features?
So specifically for the 29BH, those customer-driven features definitely hit home. One of which, look, you're gonna have a lot of kids and grandkids in this thing. The fact that you're not gonna find a threaded carpet anywhere, I think that's a blessing for anybody, right? Another part of it is the extra real estate you get since we're on a 101-inch wide body chassis. Think about it, the halls, the bedroom, the bathroom, the playroom, and the bunkhouse, everything just grows by that 5 inches, and we're still under 35 feet. And lastly, another part of this floor plan is the fact that we have the atrium window system, but specifically on this model, they're essentially everywhere. I love the amount of window coverage we have on this model.
Those are all great features. And just to hit it off, you know, this floor plan was designed with customers in mind, and we got a lot of customer feedback on this floor plan before we designed it. I love that back bunk space. It is not those typical, like, what you call coffin sleeping areas.
Right.
You feel wide open. You don't feel like you're being stepped on, and there's just plenty of space for those kids or grandkids that are going to sleep back there. And then you have the accessibility door right there. So if you do have e-bikes or anything you want to bring, you can just throw it in there. That's super functional for families, and I love that. And then the last couple have to be those flush floor slides. I love that you're not going to have those toe stubbers anywhere throughout this coach. And then you're also going to have no in-floor heat vents, and because let's face it, kids are messy. They're going to create crumbs everywhere, and if you have one less spot you have to wipe down, it's going to make life easier. Now let's go ahead and head outside and talk about all the great exterior features next. All right, now we've taken a step outside. Let's talk about one of the most important features we're gonna talk about today, Jake, construction. How's this thing built?
Now, the floor plan is great, and obviously that's super important, but you have to get things right on the production line and certainly on the componentry use as well, right? And you're exactly right. That's one of our North Stars here. The roof, it's a PVC roof covering, right? The sidewalls, the floor, you're gonna find not a thread of wood in any of that right there. We're using all that composite material, not only on the outside, but on the inside. We have an aluminum cage construction as well. So your baggage doors, your windows, your entry door, even the small cutout where you put your electric auto leveling system, that's gonna be framed out in aluminum as well. So that shell is our key construction feature that we have. And also the running gear, we have the performance running gear on there, standard Goodyear tires, half-inch shackle kits, the list goes on, and that's really one thing we're very well known for.
Absolutely. So just to reiterate all that, you know, that PVC roof membrane, fully patch repairable, more solar reflective, is going to give you a better camping experience. You're also going to have double-sided composite materials on the walls around that super aluminum cage construction. And then you hit on that running gear there with the Goodyear tires. It has the counteract balancing beads in there too. And then we have that torsion tube along the frame to make it more rigid to give you a better towing experience. I love that. Jake, why don't you take them to the front of the camper and talk about a few features up there next.
Now, every Alliance product, every single VIN number, let me make that clear, every Alliance brand VIN number product is a warranty for full-time RVing, which means up front on this wide body chassis, you have plenty of storage for all the gear that you're gonna take while you're camping full-time. However, it doesn't stop there. You have a prep for all your Starlink accessories there, you have cable connections, outlets, as well as a three-way switch on this side to control that awning. The off-door side, which we'll show you in a moment, has a three-way switch to control the slide out as well. And lastly, we also have the diffuse light that runs the entire span of the storage bay and the floor. Now this is key. To increase the durability, we added this rubber coin floor. Now let's head up to the front and find Joe where we talk about what's going on up there.
Now let's talk about the front. On the front cap, you're gonna have an automotive painted fiberglass front cap that just really looks great with that 3D logo on there. And then down below, you're gonna have the Kurt Rotoflex pin box that really reduces that chucking and bucking you're gonna have on the road.
Now, a lot of what happens down there in that storage area is more of the logistics side of things. That's where you're going to find your batteries, some battery disconnects, certain things like that. Now, I want to know the whole system is capable of handling any battery supply that you choose. Typically, your dealer is going to give you a marine grade lead acid battery, but if you want to put AGMs, lithium, or any mainstream style of battery to your choice, you're more than welcome to add that. Again, the whole system will adapt to that all day long. And again, that also pairs to the standard solar package, 200 watt panel, and your charge controller is found up there as well.
And that charge controller is a Victron charge controller, which is a great system.
Yep.
All right, let's head to the off-camp side and talk about some great features over there next. All right, let's talk about the first thing you're gonna see on the off-camp side, that electric leveling system. So usually what you're gonna find is gonna be inside the pass-through area, so it's hard to see. We put it in a super convenient location so you can easily see your truck when you're unhitching or rehitching. And then next to that, you're gonna have your 30-pound propane tank. There's gonna be two, so you're gonna have up to 60 pounds of propane in here. Now, Jake, why don't you talk about the off-camp side of that pass-through storage next?
Making it as easy as possible to arrive at your campsite and certainly depart is our goal here at Alliance. So everything is going to be all in one central location. Your plumbing and your power cord is going to be very close to each other right here. Now, the plumbing area is going to be all enclosed. That way you can shut and lock this baggage door in case you're gone throughout the day. But one thing I want to point out is this panel right behind there gives you full access to the mechanicals right behind that. You're going to notice all of our PEX tubing in there, easy access to the water pump, and the list goes on. And lastly, we have loomed electrical wiring as well, just to increase the overall organization back there. Now, as we move further down the unit, one thing I want to point out is that slide out here is operated by a through frame rack and pinion slide out. Now, we understand it's a couple pounds heavier, but for the reliability that you get, it's far and above the single best slide out system that you can get in the industry, and that's exactly what you're going to find here on this 29BH. A few key notes here on this 29BH while we're over here. 30,000 BTU furnace, and we also have a 60,000 BTU on-demand water heater. Now let's head over to the rear of the camper, where I believe that's where we can find Joe.
All right, let's talk about the back wall. It might look ordinary, but it's far from that. Starting at the top, you're gonna notice this little black puck. That is your 12-volt universal backup camera prep system, so you can get any system you want on the market. And then next to that, you're gonna find your steel ladder that is rated up to 300 pounds. And then an underrated feature is gonna be the location of your spray port back here. It's a great spot to tie off your Fido or whoever it is and give them a bath, but it also keeps your campsite clean. And then last of all, you are gonna have that accessory hitch that does support up to 300 pounds. Now, Jake, why don't you talk about that camp kitchen next?
Now, when you get to your campsite, you got to ask yourself, what's the first thing you need to do? You got to feed your kid and your grandkids, right? So what happens here is we have this camp kitchen here that's just on the other side of where that bunk room is. It's a great use of that space to make sure everybody is well fed. This, in fact, though, is a nice combo grill or griddle, either way you'd like it. Plus, right next to that, we do have the refrigerator, and just next to that is some extra storage for whatever spices or utensils you may need.
Thanks for taking the tour of the all-new, all-access 29BH. Jake, what were a few of your favorite features here?
So all three of my favorite features kind of combine into one, okay? Let's bring up the wide body chassis. That extra 5 inches goes a mile and still keeping this thing under 35 feet. But let's also talk about the overall flow of the floor plan as well. The main level there is very cohesive. You have a very large list of options you can use for that bunk area, also hanging out throughout the day, the functionality with the storage. But also, let's remind everyone, that bedroom up front has a 66 by 80 Olympic-sized queen bed. Again, paired with the wide body, it's the perfect combination for daily living, no matter how you're using this thing. Now, if you want to learn more about the floor plan or the company itself, head on over to alliancerv.com. Now, Joe, how do they connect with us?
Yeah, go to any social platform of your choosing and search @AllianceRV to see behind the scenes information. Everybody, thanks again for watching, and we hope that you choose to join the Alliance.
3, 2, 1.
Hold on. We got a beef jerky still. Ooh, hold on. That is some good beef jerky right there.
Hold
That's
on,
good,
this is
but-
open too. That was
Oh yeah, I opened.
What?
No carpet. Can we need a little?
Just so you know,
personality, too.
we're watching this. You're watching right after we got back from Tampa, so we are exhausted.
I'm not getting in. I haven't even left like show mode. Hey, do you mind if I show you around?
Yeah.
It's like,
So
dude,
what kind of
I work
camping,
here.
Yeah, what kind of camping do you do?